Dear Major, ministers of the Basque government, members of the local government, dear authorities, good evening and welcome to the 15th anniversary event of Ibermática in San Sebastian. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this 15th anniversary event of Ibermática. And when we say Ibermática, we say San Sebastian because it is here when 1973 this company was born and has grown in the Miramon Technology Park to open up to the world, leading the technological transformations that have been taking place throughout this half century and thus contributing to improving the lives of millions of people. In important celebrations such as this 50th birthday, we tend to look back. We ask ourselves where we were then, how was our society like then, and compare ourselves with today. But I would like to say that in 1973, right here, the building of Grand Casino Kursaal was being demolished. And it is in memory of that symbol of the Belle Époque of this city, this town. This conference center is now called Kursaal. In the case of Ibermática, it was born in 1973 with the first mission of computerizing saving banks. That's nothing today. We all have the smartphone in hands, and has remained at the forefront of all changes, being one of the main innovation agents thanks to the work of its professionals. And it's thanks to all of you that we are here today. And the first applause is for you. Ibermática celebrates 50 years in the midst of its integration process in Ayesa, but there are things that do not change, such as the wish to continue meeting the needs of the providers, increasing its capabilities and positioning itself in the top 15 digital services. Ayesa Group has its headquarters in Seville, but Ibermática will not disappear from the Basque Country, as we will tell you throughout this event. But right now, I would like to give the floor to the CEO of Ayesa, José Luis Manzanares Abasolo. He's a man from Seville with a great bond with the Basque Country that comes from his mother's side. If you usually walk around Algorta, you may have seen him since he spends its summer and Christmas holiday there. José Luis Manzanares Abasolo is at the head of the group Ayesa, now made up of more than 20,000 professionals. Welcome. Thank you, Vanessa. Major ministers of the Basque Country, regional representatives of Álava and Guipúzcoa, authorities, customers, friends, and friends of Ibermática, welcome. I'm proud to be here with you, celebrating such a warm and equally memorable moment. 50 years is not a few years for a company. It is terribly difficult to start a business, let alone to keep it alive so many decades, but also to transform it throughout the years, adding value, standing as a reference in the sector, and consolidating itself in the territory as an essential part of it. Ibermática has managed to do that. It is a huge company with more than 5,000 employees, a large part of them coming from the Basque Country, but with many thousands more who have been part of its history since it was founded in 1973 in San Sebastian. At Ayesa, we are fully convinced of the fact that companies have a soul. Without this soul, it is impossible to generate the enthusiasm and commitment needed to overcome the countless difficulties arising year after year. I come from a company, Ayesa, also deeply rooted in that territory, with my father as a founder and married to a woman from Bilbao who has shaped a strong and powerful soul that also led us to motivate our professionals to bring us here after 57 years. I am quite new in the Ibermática world, but I find each time, in every step, I find people proud with great professionals and leaders who, thanks to their work and effort, have driven it to be what it is today. Ibermática is a leading IT company. Together with Ayesa, has become the largest 100% private company with headquarters in the state. Our major motivation now is to make our group the indisputable leader. We already have more than 12,000 professionals selling talent, knowledge, and technological and engineering capacity. Ayesa also opens up to Ibermática all its international potential. Now, Ayesa Group is present in 23 countries, and in many of them, Ibermática's capabilities must be offered to its customers. We expect to be more than 17,000 professionals in 3 years, a large part of them in the Basque Country. Society is transforming and requires technology companies like ours to help them on this exciting and intense path. We firmly believe in growth, in the creation of value, in being a benchmark and being able to continue and journey towards a global leadership without ever losing our roots. Ibermática will continue to be relevant and a major protagonist in the Basque Country in Euskadi, committed to the territory and to society. Today, we will announce the creation of Ibermática Fundazioa with its headquarters in Euskadi, and that will help us to manage the innovation of Ayesa Ibermática in the world. Joseba Inchaurraga will give us an outline of his project. Today, it is a day of celebration. We want to pay tribute to the history of Ibermática, where important people in its career will tell us about their experiences. We have an interesting panel represented by former partners of the company. We have chosen Iberdrola as a major customer of Ibermática to be sitting at the panel, and I would like to thank them to be here. We also have a interesting panel with top-level technology leaders, whom I am extremely grateful for being here. They have really impossible agendas, and they have made room for us to be here. The Salesforce World, AWS, and with the strategic vision of BCG, they will be here in a few minutes. My father and founder of Ayesa will continue with a message giving you the full picture of what we are today. And the event will be closed by the Minister of Public Governance and Self-Government of the Lehendakaritza, Olatz Garamendi. Thank you to be here. I want to convey a huge thank to all the institutions of the Euskadi, the Basque Country, the Basque Government, provincial councils, major financial institutions for the good reception. The warm welcome we have received. It has been a pleasure for me to spend most of the weeks in this land that I love and admire so much. Now I leave you with a video that tells us the story of Ibermática, which has been carefully documented by a team of professionals from Ibermática. I want you to know that Ibermática has shown a large business group, Ayesa, and we will know how to take care of it and manage it as it deserves. So, thank you very much. Please give a big round of applause as an homage to Ibermática.
En los últimos 50 años, la tecnología ha transformado el mundo de una manera asombrosa, propiciando una evolución extraordinaria en la forma de comunicarnos, de aprender, de construir, de fabricar, de investigar, de curarnos, de viajar, de producir energía. En todos y cada uno de esos cambios, Ibermática ha estado presente, contribuyendo a mejorar la vida de las personas. A finales de los 50 se crea en San Sebastián la Central Calculadora Electrónica, una entidad pionera en ofrecer servicios de computación. La central dispone de una sofisticada herramienta de cálculo, el Gamma 3, un dispositivo gigante con válvulas y clavijas que lee datos de tarjetas perforadas. Es el germen de Ibermática. Pero no es hasta unos años más tarde cuando se funda la compañía, cuya primera misión es la de informatizar a las cajas de ahorro. Guiada por entusiastas profesionales, Ibermática se atreve a imaginar, a emprender, a marcar la diferencia, logrando enseguida la confianza de importantes empresas vascas del momento. Al frente, una de las grandes personalidades del sector TIC en España, Tomás Ariceta. 3 años más tarde, Ibermática se traslada a Miramón, su sede más emblemática, un lugar tan íntimamente ligado a la ciudad que hasta la parada de autobús más cercana acabaría adoptando su nombre. Es solo el inicio de una larga historia de crecimiento por toda la geografía nacional e internacional. Los 80 trajeron los ordenadores personales, una auténtica revolución tecnológica que contribuyó a que Ibermática se afianzase como una organización pionera, ampliando sus accionistas, sus sedes y su facturación. En los primeros compases de los 90, una gran mujer asume el mando de Ibermática. Son años especialmente pujantes en lo tecnológico. Nace la World Wide Web, los primeros buscadores, y se popularizan los dispositivos móviles. Después llegó otra figura clave para Ibermática, José Luis Larrea, bajo cuya batuta ONCE se convierte en cliente y accionista. Ibermática se hace internacional y se adopta un nuevo logo y nueva imagen que pone en valor el mayor activo de la compañía, sus personas. La década de los 2000 trajo el mayor contrato de externalización integral de servicios informáticos del mercado español. De la mano ahora de Joseba Ruiz de Alegría, Ibermática continuó su expansión internacional a pesar de las sucesivas crisis económicas mundiales, apostando por la innovación como elemento diferenciador con la creación de I3B. Llegó 2010 y en esos años el planeta vive un nuevo impulso tecnológico con la proliferación de los smartphones y de las redes sociales, configurando un mundo permanentemente conectado. Ibermática se establece en Estados Unidos. Son ya 25 los centros operativos repartidos en 9 países. Los cambios se suceden y con Juan Ignacio Sanz continúa la inercia exitosa de Ibermática, adquiriendo 3 compañías y entrando en las primeras posiciones del prestigioso estudio anual White Lane Research sobre outsourcing TI. La compañía comienza a figurar en la lista Forbes y en el ranking de las 100 mejores empresas para trabajar en España de actualidad económica. En 2019 son ya 3.000 los empleados en todo el mundo. Con la crisis sanitaria internacional, Ibermática pone en marcha múltiples iniciativas para cuidar a sus profesionales y apoyar la lucha contra el coronavirus. Esto generó el mayor índice de satisfacción conseguido hasta la fecha de nuestros profesionales, una lluvia de felicitaciones de clientes y los mejores resultados económicos de la historia de Ibermática. En 2023, Ibermática se integra en Ayesa, multiplicando sus capacidades de cara al futuro. Hoy, Ibermática celebra su 50 aniversario como uno de los principales agentes de innovación del mercado y con el orgullo de contribuir a mejorar la vida de millones de personas. ¡Feliz 50 aniversario!
Pocas empresas.
Few companies reach their 50th birthday. Ibermática has done it. It's one of them. We're going right now to share the relevant milestones with people who have been involved in them or they know them well as customers, managers or shareholders. We have now with us 5 executives who, in addition to knowing Ibermática well, each one of them has many years of experience in their companies and therefore can fully assess what Ibermática has meant for them and for the organizations they represent. We have here with us Alicia Vivanco, Emiliano Martín, Asís Canales, Joseba Univaso, and Josema Barrutia. Thank you for being here this evening. We're going to kick off this first panel discussion. They are very well known by you all, but we will go through each one of them. Alicia Vivanco, you are General Director of Kutxabank, Sociedades Participadas, and also member of the Board of Directors of Ibermática until 2022. Previously, you have been General Director of BBK as a Director of Management Committee, and you participated in the design of important financing projects such as the award of the Airtel and Retevisión, as well as the startup of Euskaltel. Emiliano Martín, General Resources Director of ONCE until 2022. Throughout his long career within the organization that works for the inclusion of blind and disabled people, he has held different positions, from territorial delegate in Valencia and Madrid to general director of group of companies of the ONCE Foundation and CEO of the ONCE Business Corporation. And Asís Canales, he's the director of people and services of Iberdrola. He's also chairman of the company Iberdrola Reinsurance, and he is the institutional delegate of Iberdrola in the Basque Country, being a member of the executive committee of InnoBasque and one of the vice presidents of CEBEC and Confebask, the Employers Association of Vizcaya and the Basque Country. Joseba Univaso, director of the health sector at Ibermática until 2019. We can say that you have spent your whole life in Ibermática, 36 years, where you have gone through all the phases, from programmer to director of the north of Catalonia of SAP, and always with the same will of making the company and its professional grow. And Josema Barrutia, director of Ibermática Strategy until 2022, as like Joseba, has held different positions at Ibermática for the past 25 years, including the creation of Ibermática Digital, the launch of the Ibermática subsidiary in the States, and management of customers and strategy and international contract. So we're going to start with the first question for Alicia. Kutxabank has been a part of, throughout these 50 years, a part of the shareholders, and you, in your case, you have been a director since 2013, not only from the relevant perspectives such as the administration and supervision, but also as a great connoisseur of the business environment of the Basque Country and also of a sector as changing as banking. What have been the greatest virtues of Ibermática and the challenges that they had to overcome throughout all these years? I think that the video showed it. First of all, I would underscore this great capacity of adaptation that has been present throughout the 50 years, and also to grow and develop itself together with the customer. This sector is new, but has evolved over the years. They have this capacity to grow together with the customer, and also the second factor or major element are the human resources, its professionals. in a company where its core business is service delivery, people are essential. We all read in the media that we have to attract talent, we have to retain this talent. But in a company as for Ibermática is essential. It is the raw material of the company. It is the core of Ibermática, people. Emiliano, in your case, and from ONCE, you also have been one of the major actors in the history of Ibermática as shareholder. In these more than 20 years in which Ibermática has provided support to such extensive organization, how has Ibermática been able to adapt to your technological needs and understand your idiosyncrasies? And the capacity shown by Ibermática when they have to understand what we need, there is a major factor, that's when we are going to outsource the services of ONCE in 2011, there is a transfer of a group of professionals that go from La ONCE to Ibermática. So these professionals are going to contribute to take to Ibermática the knowledge of what is La ONCE and its needs, and this knowledge is present in the professionals that are going to provide the services to La ONCE, and they're going to transmit this savoir-faire, this know-how, to the rest of the professionals of Ibermática, and therefore that's why our relationship is so good. Iberdrola has always been Iberdrola has always been one of Ibermática's major customers, as you have acknowledged its work by awarding it up to twice as the best global supplier of the year among the thousands of suppliers with which you collaborate. In 2018, in the internationalization category, in 2021 for promoting quality employment. From your point of view, as a customer, what makes Ibermática different from other providers? With Ibermática, we have been working to more than 30 years from the Ibermática has been competing with the great international players. Why this success? I think there are two major elements. We could state the flexibility to adapt itself to a complex customer. This flexibility is not always present in the competitors, and flexibility to react. And throughout the latest years, we have seen that the environment is ever changing. And I would like to point out to two aspects, a major aspect, how Ibermática could maintain the service when there was a good service, when there was and the pandemic, for example. During the pandemic, the team of Ibermática was there maintaining the service, flexibility, agility, which is a great asset of our company. And Joseba, well, we can say that you and Ibermática have grown together for more than 30 years. What phase do you especially remember as the most enriching from a professional point of view, and what is the greatest qualitative jump you have seen Ibermática take? Well, when there was Nieves Arria, in that time, a long time ago, my responsibilities were quite limited, but the three moments that are quite enriching was in 2002, where we were greatly affected by the Argentina crisis, and Joseba Alegrías at that time comes to the board, and when going to Argentina, we thought, are we going to be able to overcome these problems? And he said, yes, we are going to overcome those issues. And from 2010 onwards, we started growing. Another important date is 2013. This company was very oriented to geography, to the proximity to customers, and we have on board Proa, and it is a time where the Basque saving banks are going to get together. And this was an important element and quite complex. We had to manage this distribution of BBK and Kucha. And so we have several colleagues that are in the audience that were present in this negotiation. So Proa changed our life in a way, because we went from a geographical element to a structural element, and we had to live in that way. And the third element, it was in April I leave the company, and in July I have my successor coming up, and from then onwards I facilitated the transition to the new general direction. And it would be the three moments I would talk about. Josema, you have spent a long time in the corporate and business strategy to place Ibermática. In this level of strategy, what have been the most important development vectors, and how has Ibermática strategy and its competitive positions evolved, particularly in the last 5-10 years? I think that Ibermática has been able to adapt to the most adequate strategy, having a shared vision. And this is not that easy in a sector of the in the IT sector. You have seen that there has been a geographical expansion here in Euskadi. Then it has become national. First with the banking sector, and then other important sectors, technological positioning, and always meeting the needs of our customers with the internet. We have seen a positioning in the value chain, not only services, projects, and integration of systems. We also have seen the outsourcing of services. We also have seen diversification, service quality, close to the customer. And also with Vanessa in Ibermática, we have seen new lines of offers to meet the needs of our customers. So besides being a reference, Ibermática has always been a service of good quality, proximity to the customer, but also it has been present in different regions. We go back to you, Alicia. You are a member of board of directors of several companies, of different companies. Speaking of roots in the regions where it operates, what do you think Ibermática has meant for the Basque Country? I think it has been, and it still is, a major project. It has always been pulling the sector and has leveraged the sector of IT, and we can say frankly that we have an important training tradition here, and universities attracting many students from many regions. And to reinforce this environment, this fabric, we need to have a solid entrepreneurial world, because education and the entrepreneurial world have to go together. And from the training centers, they have to provide solutions to the needs of the companies. And we can also say that from the point of view of attraction and retention of talent, to have a certain number of companies where you can evolve, you can have a nice career, when you can develop yourself professionally from a more general point of view or approach. And also we have to acknowledge Ayesa, this capacity it has had to be the driving force of many manufacturing companies towards the digitalization, because in that way they have improved their position. And sometimes we listen in the media to the gaps that exist among different companies, that in the end they have a need to compete with other regions, and they offer can be cheaper sales forces. But I think that digitization of all the sector of the society in general is one of the main way to improve competitiveness in our country. I think Ibermática is a great ally of companies. Emiliano, in 2001, more than 200 professionals joined Ibermática. How is the corporate culture of Ibermática perceived, and what are its professionals like? From the very beginning, we have noticed that the Ibermática culture was oriented to the customer, the ONCE as a customer, and the professionals who have been working with us. They have been committing themselves in each one of the challenges we had to face. And these professionals have fully understood our issues, and so and therefore, in that even when we have been facing challenges or issues, we have always had fluid communication with them, with those who are able to move and to bring about the resources we need to solve these issues. We always have had direct contact with them. This doesn't mean that for 20 years we have had a certain number of issues that may have led us to conflicts, because the secret is to be able to solve them. And to be able to solve these issues, we have to develop a communication among all the parties, to be flexible, to be able to see where are the problems and to seek the solutions beyond short-term interest, and also being generous. And I think we have been able to do that. Sisi, Ibermática has accompanied Iberdrola in its expansion, both in the States and the UK. How it is possible to be global but also committed to the customers? I think it is, you have to be local. That is a fact. And to be global is a strategic option. You can diversify risk, you can grow, and you can learn how they work in other regions and other countries. But you have to be local, because to be near the customers, you have to be local. And the customer is at the heart of the company. And you have to be very near the citizens. And we need society to better understand the role played by the company. So for that, you have to be near. And local, you have to be always, and global, it is also important. But Joseba, you have been a manager deeply rooted in the Basque Country, but you also have managed businesses, units, and sectors outside, abroad. You have participated in the launch of businesses starting from scratch that represent tens of millions of euros in US business. Has it been easy to do that at Ibermática? No. Launching a business is not easy, but the DNA of Ibermática's professionals, in this DNA there is a passion, commitment, and from the general director to any kind of programmer. We think that Ibermática is ours, and we defend it as ours. And with the SAP unit, there was a lack of professionals in the market. But we have trained those professionals, and now we are reference worldwide and in all the regions in Spain. And I'm still thinking that about Catalonia. I've seen my colleagues from Catalonia, and we had a very profitable unit, but it didn't grow at the same level that in the rest of the country. But it hasn't been possible. But I hope that in this new journey, Catalonia will be a part of our business unit. Josema, you are a partly intergenerational managers. You have lived the different phases of Ibermática from different roles for 25 years. And now, one of the most important, the integration into Ayesa Group. From your point of view, what does this mean, this new phase for Ibermática? I think it's really going to be thrilling. We have already mentioned that we have the size to compete with the biggest multinationals, and we have mentioned that we are the top 5 of the digital services and also the capacity of informatics. Today we need multiple disciplines and in third place we have engineers, and we have infrastructures, and they are more and more intelligent with data treatment, and we think we are very well positioned. And now we are running quite late. Alicia, has it been easy to govern Ibermática? I have to say yes. And really, and I say that frankly, we have faced issues, of course, but we also have been always willing to gather sensitivities, capacities, skills, and seek the solution. We have been a board of directors united, and we have been always supported by management. But I have to say there was a but. And what is that but? It is that there's a thorn. I would like to have a greater presence of women. I think that women are very few still in technological companies. We are not able to see that. We write it down. We take good note of that, Emiliano. ONCE has trusted Ibermática with a long-term vision. What did you value about Ibermática? What did you value about Ibermática in taking that step? I think we wanted to have a long-term relation, a strategic partnership with a dimension bringing about sufficient technological capacity, but at the same time, we wanted to have to be clear, near, and ONCE for Ibermática was a major customer. And from then onwards, Ibermática has met the needs of La ONCE. And when we started the outsourcing, we go beyond the IT services, but also other businesses, providing businesses, but also the marketing of the games as a way of funding ourselves. So the great majority of the questions are taking us to the same place. This is we are in the same boat in a way, and we want to work together. As you see, Iberdrola takes special care of the value chain with its supplier, and also particularly in the Basque Country, where it is important to take care of the business fabric. We have to find a good position in front of our customers, and to bring about a different offer. The value chain, it is of utmost importance. If we have a certain degree of complicity, and if we give the right answer, we can be more competitive. And we have here a group of companies that have enabled us to do that. Joseba, now in your new phase, how do you see and value Ibermática? Because now you're retired. When I left Ibermática, 1st of April 2019, I've been in touch with a lot of professionals of the company. We have been friends, and as we like to have nice food, we have been meeting to eat with former executives, with friends and professionals of the company, and I've been in touch with Ibermática in the new phase. I guess I will also be in touch with them, and I hope that the colleagues, the old colleagues that are there, will be growing ever more, and we will be a reference at the national level, and I hope also at world level. Josema, it has been really a great honor to be a reference in Guipúzcoa. I'm really proud, and I want to thank all the people, because it is important here I work, and I have the great pleasure to be in the Basque Country, and I have to say that in the case of San Sebastian, San Sebastian is a reference not only for the quantic computing, but we had the first phone facilities, and we have an important fabric of technological parks, and San Sebastian has always been a reference. It is a shared value. These companies are the ones who stay on the long term. Thank you for sharing with us your experience and vision of Ibermática, and thank you. Thank you again.
Gracias a los 5 por esta conversación.
Thank you to our 5 guests. Ibermática is in the process of integrating into Ayesa, but it's not disappearing, as the CEO has just said, because we create Ibermática Fundación A. From San Sebastian, this foundation will act as the innovation center for the entire group. It in a clear commitment to the Basque Country as a technological and innovation pole, and with a strong social training and employment commitment. And José, Vice President, will present us the foundation. Good evening, dear major councillors, ministers of the Basque Country, dear friends. Good evening. He speaks in Basque, and I guess he will resume in Spanish in a few minutes.
Gurekin ospatzera etortzeagatik. La celebración de este 50 aniversario.
We consider that the celebration of this 50th anniversary of Ibermática is the right moment to present the foundation. Ibermática has always been a technological reference and also a pioneer in its commitment to innovation as a factor of competitiveness, and in a world where everything is going faster and faster. On the other hand, Ayesa created a foundation 40 years ago that is a reference in Andalusia. Therefore, the experience and knowledge of both come together as a solid basis to launch a very exciting and thrilling and ambitious project that allows us to open to society, contributing with our with what we know, the technology. There are several reasons for the constitution and the creation of the Ibermática Foundation. Our technological and functional knowledge in different disciplines, today transforming societies, companies, the group's innovation strategy as an objective to generate value for the company and to be more competitive in the market by adding value to our customers. The roots that Ibermática has always had in the Basque Country, and that is now being expanded with Ayesa's commitment to our country in a larger project. The will of Ayesa to give back to the Basque Country what it has taken in the past, the maintenance of Ibermática in the future. In short, the mission of the foundation is to contribute to reducing the digital divide by promoting technological research and training, promoting social inclusion, and the principle of equal opportunity. Likewise, the foundation intends to promote social progress through R&D and promote talent and training to contribute to the development of a more fair and more equitable and inclusive society. Ibermática and Ayesa are united by values such as effort, self-improvement, solidarity, and teamwork, values that we believe are reflected in our logo. The the rowboat, the trainera, which for many years accompanied the brand. Ibermática Foundation will carry out its activity along 4 main pillars: R&D, the experience of Ibermática and Ayesa in this area is very important, and from now on, R&D management of the entire group will manage from the foundation from Euskadi. 3D and universities, research centers in its commitment to open innovation that always seeks opportunity for collaboration with third parties in areas such as AI, data analytics, cybersecurity, and quantum computing. And all this as a part of the vast network of science, as one of the first entity attached as a business of R&D unit. So to this experience of Ibermática is added the one of Ayesa, with more than 20 years of experience. Projects for energy and water networks, renewable energies, sustainable mobility, and electric vehicle are some of those developed during this time. Projects that in many cases continue to be benchmarks in some areas and allow the group to join forces to offer radically innovative solutions. Employment. From the point of view of employment, our major objective is to promote the inclusion of disabled people in a sector that requires professionals and offers great opportunities for development and job stability. Ibermática Social, which from now onwards is integrated into the foundation and has a special employment center in Madrid. We have begun the creation of a center with similar characteristics in Euskadi. The aim of this center is to offer technological services of the highest quality based on the personal and professional training of the students. There is also a service that we offer to our customers that allows them to contribute to the social and labor inclusion of people with disabilities. For the development of this project, we rely on the collaboration of the ONCE Foundation, which is the best travel companion we can have. Thank you very much for your help, ONCE. Training the junior universities is our commitment to develop young talents, the step to have the professionals of tomorrow. It is the ideal setting for them to get to know the company, to grow and acquire new personal and professional skills. The goal for this year is to have 220 students. The junior begins when the students arrive, but the work starts much earlier. The relationship with the study centers, university, vocational training centers is essential to attract the students who are about to go on the market. It is very important to show the potential of our sector and bring technology closer as a job option. We are committed to quality education and equal opportunities to add talent to our junior university. Once they finish, the young people decide what they have to do. The group, Ayesa, will offer to them career prospects. The conventions and agreements with training centers, conferences, courses, and seminars are a part of our activities. Social action. corporate social responsibility. We understand social responsibility as a value that unites all professionals, contributes ethically and transparently to the operations we carry out as a business, and has a positive impact on society. We believe that the most important aspect of our activity is not only what we do, but how we do, because people and projects are changeable and variable over time, but the social and environmental footprint that we leave as a company remains over time. Ibermática has focused on the priority diversity groups for us. For example, the people with problems accessing services, young people in need, NGOs are some of our objectives. In short, Ibermática Fundación will allow us to continue being a reference agent, now even more than prominent in the contribution of technology to our society, and all that thanks to a young team with experience, enthusiasm, and many new ideas. And they have been and they are in the great majority women. Last Thursday, in the Adegi event, Javier Marcé talked about the social asset of our company, something what we share and we feel identify. And talking about social responsibility, I think we have to mention someone that knows quite a lot about that. And thanks to him, we are here. José Luis Manzanares Japón. He founded Ayesa. He created the Ayesa Foundation, and he's the one who wanted Ibermática Fundación to be established and helps to the company to become more deeply rooted in its environment. Thank you very much. And now we have to carry on working. Thank you very much.
Eskerrik asko, Joseba Intxaurraga, Ibermática Fundazioaren nondik norakoak zeintzuk izango diren guri azaltzeagatik. Bien, vamos a abrir ahora otra mesa redonda para hablar del futuro de Ayesa. Con Ibermática integrada en él, ya lo hemos dicho, que el grupo se marca como objetivo dar el salto al top 5 de servicios digitales. Bien, vamos a invitar a los líderes de algunas de las empresas tecnológicas más importantes del mundo con las que Ibermática y Ayesa llevan colaborando años para reflexionar con ellos sobre el futuro de la tecnología y sobre cómo la digitalización va a seguir transformando las cadenas de valor. Son Miguel Álava. Bienvenido.
Enrique Polo de Lara, our second speaker. And Félix Bejarano. Welcome, welcome, and thanks for being here. A brief introduction. Miguel Álava is Managing Director of Amazon Web Services Iberia and has more than 25 years of experience in IT in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Its mission is to contribute to the innovation of companies of any size, demonstrated that all of them can offer a better service to their customers and boost their businesses through the technology offered by cloud computing. Enrique Polo de Lara, you are Senior Vice President and Spain Country Manager of Salesforce, a company you joined in 2013 after having worked in companies such as Unisys and Oracle. In 2015, Muy Computer magazine named him as Manager of the Year. He is a volunteer and member of the advisory committee of various foundations. Félix Bejarano is Managing Director and Senior Partner of Boston Consulting Group. He is a leader of this practice, and you collaborate with the group Ayesa, and you started this collaboration 15 years ago with the first strategic plan, and you recently have collaborated with the expansion of Ayesa. First round of questions, Miguel. Amazon has been a pioneer in cloud technology. launching AWS in 2006. Since then, the cloud has spread in many areas, not only applied to the infrastructures, but to platforms and even services. Being market leaders in terms of cloud infrastructures and platform, how do you see the future of the cloud now that we have seen that companies spending on the cloud continue to grow, but a bit less? Hi, hello, Vanessa. Congratulations to the Ibermática family for this birthday. If there is something we have learned lately in this context we are living today with the pandemic, etc., I think it has been mentioned in the previous panel, the only competitive advantage is the adaptability, flexibility, the society, all those individuals who have been resilient and have adapted to the environment, they have grown. And this is a lesson we have learned, and currently we are all well aware of the fact that for our business to become competitive, they have to be flexible. And if we place that in on the scene of infrastructures and technology, if we see the great capacity to generate data, and when we see what is happening in the AI and the new technologies, it is very difficult and I would say even impossible to do that in a private infrastructure, limited infrastructures. So therefore, currently, this knowledge of the future is a real asset. The advanced technology use is going to add value, and it is well accepted by everybody. And we are addressing the future with great optimism. We see that cloud computing is a must, and we have also to set aside vulnerabilities. But you talk, Vanessa, about growth, and I think it is important to speak about a couple of things. The capacity, or sometimes the capacity to optimize the use in a dynamic infrastructure. In Amazon Web Services in 2006, we had to be limiting our costs, and this is also important when our customers want to optimize and the budgets and the capacity to optimize their resources, lowering the price 20 times, or with innovation technology and having a greater performance in our products. It is also important for the growth. But the future is bright, and we are quite optimistic because we have a huge growth capacity in the cloud. Enrique, Salesforce was also a pioneer at the end of the 90s, creating a revolutionary relationship management where all the software and data are hosted on the internet and are available under subscription. You have been pioneers of software as a service, SaaS, that later spread rapidly throughout the technology. Salesforce has become not only an application, but a whole paradigm and an ecosystem in its own. What is your vision of the future, and how technology can help companies in their relationship with customers, suppliers, and employees? First of all, thank you, Vanessa. Congratulations to Ibermática family. Thanks for inviting me as a son of a Basque father and mother from Seville. How we can see the future? We are at the end of the beginning. I will try to explain what I mean with that. And these platforms are going to be even more important in the competition. If we understand the digital transformation as a transformation, as a culture of transformation, and if they want to turn to their customers, they have to have a customer platform These platforms are going to bring about the information to one area only, and this is treated in a tailored manner and in a coherent manner. And we are talking about traditionals, the call center, or the web page, or the social media. And once a company has been able to create this platform, he can do the same with the employee and with the supplier. What I've it took me 1 minute only to explain that. Some companies started 5 years ago, and some started after COVID, after the pandemic. So we are at the end of the beginning, because we are on the same boat. And from then onwards, how do we see the future? The technological innovation makes things go faster. And what are we doing now? We are integrating this platform with the data platform of the companies. How can we have the data of the customer with the rest of the data of the company, and use the AI to make smarter these processes? What does it mean, smarter? It is tailored and more efficient, and I think we are really doing great. It's great. Felix, from Boston Consulting Group, you help customers in their transformation and change processes for them to grow sustainably, improve their competitiveness, and extend their global impact. You're expert in technology, design, and business management are permanently updated in the latest trends. And in this sense, how is the IT market going to behave in the coming years? Which sectors are going to have the greatest technological needs, and in which areas? Thank you, Vanessa. First of all, congratulations to Ibermática for its first 50 years. And I wish you the best for the coming years. Going back to your question, Vanessa, the market, we are seeing that on an everyday basis. The evolution from the microprocessor, internet, and the smartphones. The technology is with us, is a part of us, and we think that the market of the information IT is going to keep on growing. And if you want some figures, we do not publish figures, but we have 8 or 10% of the evolution. These figures are important. Why? Because you have mentioned it, Miguel and Enrique. This is the capacity to be agile, flexible, and what is doing BCG here, BC here. Sometimes some people do not know what we are, Basque Consulting Group. We have also a role to play in technology, because we know how to use technology, and we collaborate with companies in the health sector. We are talking about telemedicine. We are also having AI for new drugs, and in industry, digital twins, the smart factory, logistic improvement, customers' knowledge, and management of inventories. We are doing that everywhere. There are many clouds, private clouds, but also we have to see that the technology market is quite wide. And what we see is that the new technologies, what is related to AI, cloud, and cyber security, are the jewels of the crown that are growing at double digit and highly profitable for Ibermática. But we also have other sectors that are more traditional, but they are still there. So you have mentioned the fact that the AI is here to stay with us. The generative AI is going to generate content. There are many that want it to be regulated. This morning I was watching TV, and I see that there are experts that are asking for a regulation, because there is risk of humanity extinction. So what is our opinion about the challenges of this intelligence? We are living a major moment with this AI and automatic learning, because this technology can change and reinvent industries and can reinvent the relationship with our customers. And this has come thanks to this generative artificial intelligence. Everyone has had access to this AI, and when talking about the relationship with the customer, and when also we want to increase our productivity, the AI has come to stay. And nowadays, it would be a lack of responsibility to look at the risks. But we also have to talk about the benefits. And thanks to technology with a natural language, with an interface, we can have a close to human relationship. And this is important. I can talk about give you an example. With the Red Cross, we wanted to address the loneliness, and we wanted our elderly to be accompanied. And this information that was gathered by the Red Cross knew what were the demands of the elderly, what they needed, if they were happy, sad. So this is a major impact in the health with the patient, in education. Or as a father, I'm quite concerned. But I think all we can have access to great knowledge. It is very difficult to have programmers, but the fact that now we could have this programming with less knowledge of this programming language and in a simpler and fastest way is essential. You have talked about regulation. I think we have to do that, but also we have to give some space to innovation. Yes, Ibermática, we are convinced of that we have a major role to play. When you play football, as a politician says, to win, but we have to be aware of the fact that we have to find a balance, and we have a major experience in the use of AI, 20 years in Amazon, with routes or supplies, and in Amazon services, where we have created an open system where we support startups that are using AI. And Enrique Salfrom, how are you going to include this paradigm? I think that at the beginning we always tend to exaggerate reality, and but of course now everyone says that AI, both predictive and generative, are going to have a major impact in society and in businesses. That's clear, but we see we have to be practical. In 2016, when we started our relationship with Ayesa, we started to have AI, predictive AI in our platform. Now we have 200 millions of predictions per year for our customers. So we can bring about value. What happens with the AI, generative AI? We have three challenges: the data quality on the one hand, second hand, the training of the machine, and the third place, the lack of talent. We think we have to use this intelligence with the data of the company, true data, personal data, but with the consent of the individual. And in this model, we are defined as a generative AI. What we want is to the user not to be an expert. A commercial agent Salesforce can ask the machine to write an email according to the needs of the customers, and then they can use it. I think that the training has to be done by the company. So good data, true data, training of the model by the company, and also it has to be friendly to use, user-friendly. It has to be simple, and we think that the generative AI does not need too many experts. I think that if you are a salesman, you have to use the technology in your environment. It's the same with a call center or expert in marketing, for example. The register machines, you can do that without being an expert. So I think that you have said it is here to stay, and I think the challenges can be solved on the way. And we hope that institutions will regulate it beyond the companies. Felix, what is your opinion about the future of this technology? What are the sectors having the greatest impact? AI, without saying generative, it is already a revolution, and it is growing hugely. The word generative is the next step, of course, but it's not going to be the last one. But as you have just said, we are the highest point or peak of this technology. What can we do with AI? I guess that all the major companies in the world are seeing what we can do with these new tools. Of course, the activities that are repeated, synthesization, or drawing conclusion from an information I might have. This is a great tool. Or, for example, to see what other activities are going to be impacted. But that's why it is important to use AI in a responsible way, reasonable way. Regulation is going to come, and Ibermática and Ayesa, as they will have a major role to play, because the smallest companies won't be able to use the technology in a sustainable way or in a safe way. Therefore, Ayesa will provide the framework to the use of the AI. What is going to be this impact? This is cross-sectional. It is any kind of activity, or you can use it in any kind of activity, any sector. We cannot say it's going to be growing in the banking sector and not in the health sector. It is growing and it's expanding in an amazing way cross-sectionally. You have been talking about the great boom of the smartphone in 2010. I remember the first call I made. So the impact takes a bit of time, but we are going to be impacted on our daily life by AI, that's for sure. And to close this panel discussion, could you talk about the value of a service provider as Ibermática, and how do you see the future of these digital services? Miguel, do you need partners infrastructure focused, and where does the value lie? If we see the demand, we are facing in the public cloud, I think we need to rely on our partners with client customer proximity. Ibermática is a major player and our future and the growth that is going to accelerate. Enrique, how do companies like Ibermática Ayesa support on your business? We are an ecosystem company. Millions of people that are using Salesforce as a tool, and I'm sure that you are end users of Salesforce, and without knowing it sometimes, because you many companies are using this technology. We are talking about a huge volume of activities. That's why I'm very happy to rely on Ayesa. Salesforce is associated to the business challenges. So this is only possible with people that are experts in technologies and that ensure the success or great success of this company. Thank you and congratulations to Ayesa once more for the trust. The industry is growing at double digits, and the great majority of industry would like to grow double digits in the future. We're in a very good situation, and I'm sure that we have a brilliant future ahead. Felix, what capacities can the Ayesa Group make available to its customers and the different sectors? This ongoing transformation, the agility. What is happening is that the companies are going to transform their business processes, and to do that they need different technologies. We're not going to apply one here and that's all. We have to apply different technologies, and I think that the Ayesa Group is joining forces in the new technologies that are expanding with greater applications, and in the great majority of sectors they have a scale which is quite important, because we have mentioned Iberdrola. Iberdrola is not working with all providers. They need to have the capacity to accompany them, and also people and talent is essential to implement this technology. It is complicated in the market to have a certain number of people, professionals that have the skills. It is essential for those companies, but all that are skills. But when talking about these capacities and skills, there is something that has been present in the previous panel discussion: the trust of the customer. And there's an even situation. We need to have someone that is trustworthy, that is there at any time, and that is something that has been mentioned by Ibermática, and we have seen that during the interviews of the customers of Ayesa. We see that it is in the DNA of the Ayesa Group, and please keep it as an asset. Thank you very much to three speakers for sharing with us the reflections of the future and the great challenges. And I hope that among us we will bring about the answers to society, professionals, customers, institutions, and society. It has been a great pleasure having you here. Thank you. We have already mentioned the fact that the Ayesa Group now has more than 12,000 professionals. But did you know that all that started with 2 people and an old car? This is what its founder, José Luis Manzanares, likes to recall. He is today honorary president of the group Ayesa. José Luis, we will please great round of applause. Welcome to San Sebastian. So this small company that was created and now has more than 12,000 professionals. Welcome. I'm going to read my presentation, and I have to thank the authorities, the mayor, and suppliers. It is a very moving event for me. So allow me to express my deepest feeling in this act, in this event that highlights the brilliant trajectory of a technological company with Basque roots, a company that has been able to achieve a high level of prestige, becoming a benchmark mark, and bring to the market brilliant solutions with its own stamp. These qualities are what have motivated this integration into Ayesa. And I have no doubt that it has been quite surprising. Today, blowing out the candle of this birthday, it is time to express a wish. And my wish is very simple. Transform a Basque company with an Andalusian Y into multiplication. The company that comes out of these operations is going to be much more effective and far-reaching. And I want to explain what it is today, Ayesa. Ayesa was born 57 years ago. It was a modest calculation office, as they called it then, managed by a retired engineer from Navarre. It was 24 years old and from Triana. And in an undeveloped territory lacking infrastructures and with many social and human needs. Sevilla was very poor. From the very beginning, we felt driven to collaborate as a company to make our land a better world. We were lucky to grow, supported by a generation wanting to get out under development as we got irrigation, supplies, treatment plants, roads, bridges. The first work I had to do is to put an end to the cholera in Andalusia. And we also were pioneers when using universities' computers. We had no money, and our calculation and in designing automatic scales to optimize the operation of the facilities we developed. I hope you will not be surprised if I tell you that a large part of this was born, the stimulus was born and fed by the Basque Country. This land is my second home, and I've spent many important moments of my life here. I witnessed the difference in the development between Basque and Seville, and I learned that the desire for one's own land is the best driving force to achieve progress. In 1963, I fell in love with a woman from Bilbao, who lived in Bilbao, in San Mamés Street, Ana Maria Bartolo. I was only one day, and I knew that it was going to be the woman of my life, has been my guide. Very proud of its roots. Here she has been at the head of my home, and she has educated her children to love their land. After 2 years of long-distance courtship, I came to Bilbao to do the militia training in La Galea. To integrate with Anna's families, I received Basque classes from a corporal from Lekeitio who laughed at my Andalusian accent when I recited the present of the verb to be, Nina, Susara, Berada. I got married in Begonia, and from then onwards, all the Christmas holidays and holiday I went to Bilbao. When my parents were jealous, I used to tell them, I am from Bilbao. You cannot imagine the difference in standards and living and progress that existed between the two lands. For me, Senera and Aydom were benchmarks to imitate. And you can imagine how pleased I was with the first contract we won from them, and we competed with them. Throughout these decades, that desire of ours to be a company dedicated to improving the living conditions of our society has become the great driving force. José Luis has mentioned the companies with a soul. The company is not only for the great shareholders to have money, it is for the territories of those who will leave, and the citizens will be happier to make grow those who are near us. When we got bigger, we discovered that technology was not only essential for intelligent engineering, it also had to transform all aspects of a modern society: management systems, commerce, health, education, governance, and entertainment. We did not lag behind. We jumped to this opportunity. The temptation was to develop our own tools. The example was Soluciona, a company of electric company, and we saw clearly that we had to sign up for the big players. My daughter Arantxa, she wanted us to bet on SAP, on Salesforce, and finally Amazon. In 1998, we implemented our first SAP in a public administration. And a company has to grow, has to enlarge its market, but once your country has made the jump, a great part of your production needs local customers. It is easy to understand that the look towards the future must be directed at the international level. The world is very big, and we see a lot of need. Being here has enabled us to go abroad and to help those who need us most. If we look at the entire planet, it is obvious that we will find an almost infinite market of products and opportunity. The Basque companies know a lot about this. That's why my children used the last name Abasolo and went to 5 continents. And what they have found, they have seen a human species that grows super fast. We are already 8 billion creatures on Earth, and within 20 years we will be 9,000 billions. So these people are going to need more water, more food, more energy, and more transport capacity. And they will also look at the magic that digitized world. Deep down, they dream of a social justice that distributes the wealth that the planet gives us. Being able to work all over the world is dimensions. The Earth is very large, and the demand for development calls for a multitude of experts. And we are present in more than 20 countries, but we need to increase our range of solutions. With a little ambition, you immediately run into competition. And when we want to win a contract in Bogota from IBM, Accenture, or Atos, we have to show our muscles and our equipment. And in Ayesa, we were up to now 6,000, with Ibermática 12,000 professionals. The questions we asked ourselves was to choose a partner. The stock market is in a turmoil, and it's not hard to. It is hard, but I got married in Begoña with a Basque, and these other important marriages should be the same. I understand that the Basque active force want to take care of the productive fabric, but they will never be calmer than with us. You have a CEO who brings Basque blood and a president in love with this land who has never jeopardized the bond he signed here 57 years ago. In order to make clear this union, we have prepared a video, and you will see the video, you will see what I want to say. This video shows that we are very important. I'm so convinced that the business secret lies in contributing to the change that the world needs, that this bet of Andalusian and Basque holding hands has a great future, and we are going to have a beautiful leadership, and it will have an impact on the well-being of our 2 societies. We'll be among the great players, and we will be providing the tools we need. Today, the most important, have come to witness this marriage that makes us the largest private consultant in the state, and the only one that extends digital activity towards of infrastructures, industry, and the exploitation of smart services. Ayesa is a leader in engineering. It is very important, as Josema has mentioned previously. engineering and industrial companies have to digitize much more than the administration. So I ask you to have trust in the future, because we are very good and the best is yet to come. So thank you very much. We'll see the video.
Ibermática en Ayesa, para conquistar el futuro. Las personas, sociedades y empresas se transforman a velocidad de vértigo. La población del planeta crece exponencialmente y demanda justicia social, desarrollo y cuidado ambiental. Para afrontar ese reto se necesitan proveedores de servicios con capacidad tecnológica e innovación, cobertura mundial, conocimiento para desarrollar infraestructuras inteligentes. Para ello es indispensable crecer. Ibermática se integra en Ayesa para competir con la dimensión de los gigantes. Juntos logramos capacidades de liderazgo empresarial. Superamos dificultades naturales con ingeniería y tecnologías sostenibles. Implantamos soluciones digitales para gestionar, operar y soportar cualquier proceso. Incorporamos las tecnologías del mañana. Juntos somos más de 12.000 técnicos comprometidos con la creatividad y la innovación. Prestamos servicios en 50 países con más de 70 disciplinas técnicas. Nuestras raíces nos convierten en la empresa privada líder en consultoría tecnológica ibérica. Vascos y andaluces ya tenemos la experiencia histórica de explorar, descubrir y transformar medio mundo codo con codo. Juntos lo haremos de nuevo. Combinamos ingeniería y tecnología aplicando RPA, IoT, realidad aumentada, analítica avanzada, inteligencia artificial, ciberseguridad, blockchain, BIM, digital twin, cloud híbrida, modelos matemáticos y quantum computing. Posibilitamos la convergencia de IT y OT, trasladando la potencia digital a activos físicos y transformando la ingeniería en tecnología de vanguardia. Nuestro know-how combinado es tan amplio que nos permite abordar las necesidades end-to-end de todos los sectores. En administraciones públicas somos expertos en Citizen Experience, procesos electorales, arquitecturas tecnológicas, gestión de tributos, justicia, educación y la totalidad de servicios sociales. En salud aportamos sistemas de información para atención primaria y especializada, inteligencia artificial para mejorar la calidad de vida de nuestros mayores y detección temprana de enfermedades. En industria proyectamos y dirigimos Smart Factories con BIM y Digital Twin. Implantamos IoT, realidad aumentada, robótica, ciberseguridad, analítica avanzada e inteligencia artificial. Desarrollamos Industria 4.0 en ingeniería, gestión y planta a través de soluciones PLM, ERP, CRM y MES. En servicios, diseñamos arquitectura de vanguardia en instalaciones deportivas futuristas, con Customer Journey, experiencia del espectador, analítica avanzada y gestión del dato para incrementar ingresos en plataformas Total Experience. También sistemas de información que garantizan la accesibilidad para las personas con discapacidad visual. En consumo desarrollamos cuadros de mando para inteligencia de negocio, modelos predictivos que optimizan el servicio de transporte de última milla. En entidades financieras ofrecemos plataformas multicanal, Home Banking Online, gestión de riesgos, Business Intelligence, procesos Back Office, gestión de expedientes, Open Business, apificación, ciberseguridad e interfaces conversacionales. En seguros somos expertos en la gestión del dato, automatización de procesos, arquitecturas de microservicios, DevOps, Smart Contracts y OCR inteligente. En telecomunicaciones gestionamos data centers de operadores con tecnologías hiperescalares, Monitorizamos enlaces transoceánicos. Aplicamos inteligencia artificial para detección de fraude y desarrollamos procesos de front office y back office. En energía, aplicamos inteligencia artificial a las curvas de carga, smart grids y contadores inteligentes. Gestionamos los sistemas de información y data centers con diseño ágil de aplicaciones digitales, plataformas, CRM y facturadores. En Utilities diseñamos infraestructuras para la gestión inteligente y sostenible del agua y la energía. Aportamos tecnologías de supervisión y control, analítica de datos, operación desatendida, ciberseguridad, OT, gestión de clientes y administración societaria. En transporte, unimos pueblos con ingeniería civil de última generación. Gestionamos flotas eléctricas y desarrollamos Smart Traffic. Aplicamos diseño y tecnología a las ciudades para hacerlas más amables. Somos líderes mundiales en diseño y supervisión de metros. En recursos proyectamos con Digital Twin e inteligencia automática obras hidráulicas complejas, infraestructuras terrestres, marítimas y fluviales y gestión inteligente del territorio. En medio ambiente empleamos inteligencia artificial para cuidar ecosistemas fluviales. También reducimos la contaminación de vertidos en el mar a través de drones y satélites. Hoy, la integración de Ibermática en Ayesa nos convierte en uno de los principales proveedores tecnológicos del planeta. Juntos, seremos un agente decisivo en la transformación que demanda el mañana. Juntos, cambiaremos el mundo. El futuro de la Tierra y la calidad de vida de todas sus gentes son nuestra razón de ser. Ibermática en Ayesa. Conquering the Future.
Y a continuación.
Next, we ask Olas Garamendi, Minister of Public Governance and Self-Governance, to come up on the stage to close this act. Welcome, Olas Garamendi. Yours is the floor.
Diputatuak,
Major authorities, Ayesa, and Ibermática. Good evening. She's talking in Basque, and I guess she will resume in Spanish in a few minutes.
gaur ospakizun eguna da. Bularra arrotasunez puzteko eguna. 50 urte betzalak edo betetzeak hala merezi duelako. Beraz, nire lehen hitzak balio desatela Ibermátikaren ibilbidearen parte izan diren pertsona guztiei zorionak emateko. Eurei esker baitago gaur hemen mende erdiko historian ospatzen. Felicidades, decía, por tanto.
Congratulations, as I was saying in Basque, to all those who have been a part and parcel of Ibermática's journey. I would like to start my speech looking back at the 40-year celebration of here. In this event, we talked about anecdotes of this year 1982, where everything started for the Basque public administration. One of the key elements was the ICTs that wasn't that sound as the one we have today. One of those ITCs companies that was there in 1982 was Ibermática in those years. And Ibermática was then 9 years old. Talk about these years is not so easy, and history is not so easy in a so complex world. You cannot have a history without those people that are part of your company. In those difficult days, you're a clear example of a sound team during its journey, Ibermática has expanded internationally at the end of the 90s, and from then onwards it has carried on with this strategy towards South America, Europe, but without forgetting its roots in the territory and betting on a new Basque Country ready to face the challenges of the future. One of the major concerns of this government is that the Basque company shouldn't lose their roots. They shouldn't forget their roots. And in the case of Ibermática, I hope that its alliance and partnership with Ayesa makes stronger its presence in the Basque Country. Ibermática is in the top 5 companies that generates the greatest number of jobs with these 12,000 employees, and it is among the top 10 companies of the Basque Country. She goes back to the Basque language.
Mantentzeko hartu duen erabakia. Jaurlaritzatik ahalegin berezia egiten dugu Euskadiko enpresek sustraiak berton ondora ditzaten, eta Ibermática horren adibidea da. Finalmente, no.
And of course, I have to mention the business fabric of the Basque Country, and you have accompanied this business fabric all along these years, those companies that are benchmarked globally. And with your smarter specialization, the RIS3 of the Basque Country, Ibermática has been offering the Industry 4.0 to the Basque institutions and the Basque government. It has also been a part of the digital transformation of the Euskadi in many projects, for example, of the platform of the electronic digital administration, or the transition of the different infrastructures of Batera. And all that has been possible. But we also have to overcome the pandemic, where technology has been of utmost importance. I am recalling the pandemic, the economic crisis, and I'm talking about the pandemic and also the war in Europe. So congratulations to Ibermática, congratulations to Ayesa. She speaks in Basque again. Thank you very much.
Eskerrik asko, Garamendi sail.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gaur gurekin bat egiteagatik, Ibermáticaren 50. urteurrena ospatzeko ekitaldi honetan. Zuek egin duzue handia Ibermática. Un equipo de grandes profesionales.
A team of wonderful professionals that are here, and I wish you again 50 years in Ayesa, at the avant-garde of all the technological transformation, at the service of society. Enjoy the cocktail. Enjoy this evening. Thank you.